Hi, I'm Madison Swords, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to use a double screw style wooden router plane. The purpose of a router plane is to offset one surface a specific vertical distance from another surface. The distance the two surfaces are offset is determined by the distance between the sole of the plane and the edge of the cutter. Adjusting the plane is quite straightforward. Simply back each of the screws off a quarter turn and adjust to the necessary height before tightening the screws once again. One of the most common uses for a router plane is to clean up the bottom of grooves or dados after they've been cut with a power tool. I've cut a reasonably deep groove in this piece of oak using my table saw. But the bottom of the groove is uneven due to the geometry of the blade. I'm going to clean that up now using the router plane. To set the depth, begin by backing off both screws, placing the cutter into the groove, and pressing down until it bottoms out on the groove. From this point, retighten the knobs, give a light tap to the top of the blade. This will offset the bottom of the blade, the bottom of the groove, by the distance of that tap. From here, it's always best to pull a router plane, I find. I can come in, and as you can see here, towards this end, it appears the piece of wood lifted a bit off of the blade as it was being cut. That makes for a very imprecise, poorly fitting dado. But a few simple passes with the router plane even that right out. I find oftentimes when I'm cutting dados, I leave them just a bit shy. I need to deepen them by a very small amount. The router plane is exceptionally good at this. This is my technique for doing so. I take a sheet of paper and cut two strips from it. I place one of these strips on either side of the dado and set my router plane on top of those paper strips. From here, I tap the top of the iron until it bottoms out into the groove. Then, I remove the strips of paper. And what this now means is the distance between the edge of the cutter and the sole of the plane exceeds the depth of the dado by the thickness of one sheet of paper. So now, we come back through and remove a paper-thin shaving from the bottom of this groove. Another common use of the router plane is to cut mortises for hardware such as hinges or knobs. As you can see here, I have a small recess roughly cut out with a chisel and a back saw. And in order to clean up the bottom of that, I'm going to use my router plane. This router plane operation begins like all the rest. Simply find the highest point in your mortise. In my case, it's this front corner here. Adjust the blade, retighten the screws, give a light tap. And now, pull towards yourself, making sure to get into those corners nicely. And repeat this process until you reach your layout lines. One of the main advantages of a hand router over a conventional electric router is that it has one cutting edge and two safe sides. What this allows you to do is cut fully into the corners of a mortise while referencing off of pre-existing walls. So as you can see, I've moved all the way down to my layout lines, and without any pairing, I have a perfectly even, square mortise ready to